coming at us.
these
Do you want to?
No, I want to go in one of the
You
holes.
can't. It's not okay.
But like.
But it's a pig.
But it's a piglet.
And we're back. Episode 5, One Giant Leap, StoryTogether crew. Thank you so much for joining us here. We're all very excited, about to dive right in. Things are very real right now. We feel pretty good about it. It's a little precarious. A couple missing crewmen, hopefully they're all right. If not, RIP, etc. Gonna explain one quick thing before we get started. Story Night was the system that we're using to play this game, this story. It started with a D6 system, as if you've gotten this far, surely you know. However, it also has a corresponding D20 system. So Jared, i.e. Legs, will be demonstrating that for today's episode, just to show that you can do whatever. Big fan of dice, this company, this show, this program, this group of friends, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, we're just gonna dive in and get started. But just to reset where we stand, we have just been picked up by Anjali in the Kaizen and are leaving Phobos with 13. And in theory, the entirety of the Mars neural network inside Pig, which was filtered through Legs' brain. Right? Makes total sense.
Easy.
I think that about sums it up.
We're on Mars.
So now we have just left orbit. What we're going to start is we're going to start by saying that Anjali, now that we've kind of all gathered on the bridge of the ship, let's say, says that the swarm is still not coming toward us. And we're going to decide what our next action is. And that is definitely weird. So that's where we're going to begin.
Would you consider this a safe harbor?
No. I promise you I will.
I'm just curious because we're on our ship.
Is this safe?
For a safe harbor. Okay, so first scene, safe harbor, guys.
Can I get my ship back?
That's like, is this safe? Are we going to be? No. Are we
I
not
didn't
safe
think
at all?
so, but I thought I'd ask.
Are we currently invisible?
We have not activated any other protocols, so that's where we're going to start. Anjali is actually in the pilot seat, and she has notified that on her approach and then on leaving, the swarm has not come toward the Kaizen. So that's where we're going to begin.
I'd like to start personally.
Let's do it.
With requests. I'm going to go to Anjali and I'm going to ask what kind of sensor range we have operational now that we have the ship back.
Okay. Let's roll for science.
What can she sense?
We can, all the way around Mars, we can sense pretty much.
Okay.
I know the location of the swarm, so far as I know.
I'm not holistically concerned about the swarm as of this moment. Can we use the sensor log to be able to locate Rhonda? Because she was thrown, I want to see if there could be some sort of distress beacon or SOS
on her
enabled
suit.
to locate her, just so we have an idea of whether or not we should even spend mental time worrying about finding her.
You're the science officer. You have a terminal that I would say it would be you or Asima would be the best people to do that.
I'm going to, just because
I would do that at your terminal. You don't have to ask her. You can just straight up answer that yourself.
I'm going to straight up use science to locate the signal. If Rhonda is still alive, I hope she is. I'll take that 11.
We roll for Tane too.
Plus, can I use survivalist? Because of my looking for SOS beacons, can I use my survivalist traits?
I'll give you half of it.
Okay, cool. Which is plus 3, so that's 14 for total.
So you are scanning to whether they're alive. So you can't scan.
I'm not scanning for whether or not they're alive. I'm initially scanning for any form
distress
of
beacon.
A distress beacon, SOS, or just literally where's the ship?
Neither of the signals that were attached to their suits have been destroyed.
Okay, so Tane and Rhonda might still be alive, or just Rhonda?
Rana and Tane's signals are active.
Meaning they weren't eviscerated, right?
Yeah, which
Meaning
means
the source of the signal was not totally obliterated. It is still technically functional.
Now, with this technology, because we all have these similar, not necessarily the Predator suit, but the same vital HUD. HUD.
HUD.
Yes. Can she tell whether their life signs are still going? Their vitals?
That's a separate roll.
Can
it's
I
possible.
do
Yeah,
several?
it'll be significantly more difficult.
That's fair, but
Would
I
that
don't
be
want my team
a
dead.
medical roll though?
Getting the life signs is one.
Yeah.
and then
Determining what-
exactly.
Yeah, and then
you know,
deciphering-
sifting through that
Yeah.
would be
And then-
it's like a passing the baton, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna see, are they alive? Ooh, that's not as good. Can I use half of my survivalist again, or
I'll let you.
I'm just checking if I have anything else that might work. Would my cause of death talent be able to use that?
Not,
okay, cool.
Nope, not in this case.
Yeah, that talent is not coming in handy. That's an 11.
Well, came in handy when you were dissecting that thing earlier, I think, right? When you were dissecting the Leviathan, you might have got a bonus from that. Because then you found out that they went easy on you in the first fight, which is actually
Yeah.
an interesting
It's just,
clue.
I'm just like,
Very
I thought this
scary
would be
thing.
way more useful.
Right. Fair enough.
all.
There is a field coming from the surface that is intentionally now obscuring all life signs. So they have erected, even though their information network is temporarily down, they have
used
erected
a scrambling field.
Yeah, they have erected something around the city in the surrounding vicinity that is preventing you from detecting the difference between humans and
dampening
android.
field.
Yeah, so you could probably do the raw number of people, but they're going to stop you from going.
Do we
in.
not still have access to their communications? I thought we had that because of what he did.
Neural network.
What he specifically requests is disrupt theirs, not we take over access, which would be far more difficult. Now, because you have the network, you can start to manipulate it to your advantage, but you literally just got it, right? Here's what I'm going to say. While you guys are doing this, I think maybe you guys I'm just projecting here, but maybe you're like, oh, can you help me with this? Let's buddy for a hot second here. And then you get blocked, and you're like, damn, like what the hell?
And then I'm gonna think, Legs, do you mind coming over to help me with this? Because you may be able to use some sort of technology or electrical stuff in order to de-scramble their dampening field.
I would say yes. How drained am I from having a planet's worth of information go through
That's a great question.
my processors?
You're just more empowered.
Truly.
This is a show for kids, so the only analogy I have is using substances that drain
Gotcha.
you of serotonin.
Okay.
You feel like
you're
not like super
right now?
depressed, but it's basically
Depressed.
like later he went up to Phobos but could not exit because the elevator was connected to Mars rather than explicitly separate. So that's actually a good point. He is not. And
I could have sworn though that
We figured out a way to get him on our ship.
I think we
not
got.
not to get him on our ship, but to meet him somewhere.
yes,
He gave us information
Yeah,
to
no.
like
my
where to
notes.
go on Mars. That would be safe.
So yes, so basically the location of the next safe harbor he gave you.
Okay.
But I think just to answer it more specifically, he's not physically
Right.
or programmatically
Right.
on the ship
Right. That makes sense.
as it currently stands. However, I think
We could do something to connect the two. Or
what we'll say is because he would have definitely given you the next location. We know for a fact it can't be in Mars Prime because Mars Prime is now under military occupation,
right.
right? So
So
he's not going to
where-
send you
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
So-
Where is that location then?
That location is on the other side of the planet in a place called Utopa Planitia. And yes, I chose that on purpose. I love Star Trek. Don't sue me. But it is a very flat piece of land with some hills but no mountains. And it's like, according to your scans, like the middle of the desert.
It
makes no sense.
I would
The
say
remaining
we head
desert.
there. I mean, because we know nothing about this object. Once it breaches the perimeter.
Before I head to the med center after trying to help, I would go to the leader, the captain, and just say, "Listen, we know where we were. We saw Rana fly over the mountain. I think we should at least go and look, like take a detour before we get there.
We
Just
could
a flyover if we can, if it's not
Can I have
militarily.
this conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to come over and say, I agree with you. If nothing else, we can enter low orbit closer to the opposite side of Mons and then try and see if we can locate the wreckage of the ship. And then just maintaining a semi-high altitude above the planet, we just coast to the other side in order to access whatever information that Asim is located.
Well, the information that's showing up on my screen is that there is a massive object being launched out of Mars Prime, which we want to ideally
It's about
avoid.
to break through the atmosphere in a matter of seconds. You will
Yeah.
not be able to go through before whatever the object is comes through. And
I just ask Anjali what the status of the stealth systems are.
she successfully activated it, but they didn't help you guys very much last time.
Well, remember we got kind of a boost to it from CTAS.
That's right.
But he's not connected to the ship.
If the swarm wasn't attacking you when you were visible, clearly they were instructed not to attack you.
Well,
It has nothing to do with the stealth system, unfortunately.
well, if they change their minds, hopefully this will work.
Well, the stealth system, for what it's worth, is activated. So, I've done this a lot. Like, I've been like, oh, yeah, ships and stuff. But this time, a literal giant hand comes through the surface of Mars, like a literal hand up to here.
Dope.
And it basically parks itself right in front of the Kaizen, nose to nose. And then it just goes and forms itself into a fist.
Dope.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna run up to, who's her captain? Anjali, thank you. I was like, who's piloting? Run up to Anjali and be like, get behind Phobos. Put Phobos between us and that
Are we
fist.
seriously gonna blow up the moon?
Hold on. So now,
No, I'm just like, hey, let's put something big in the way of it directly bashing.
can we get a
us.
tactical analysis, Mr. Worf situation? Like,
Yeah.
let's do it normally, step by step.
Yeah.
The heck
What's
is
How
tactical
a
I want to
certain-
roll to blow up the moon.
What's the
I
tactical
didn't
analysis
mean
roll?
to blow up the moon.
Just to
I-
like understand where
Yeah, but
everything
like,
is.
so who rolled? Did she roll that?
Yeah.
Tactical
so,
officer would do that.
Yeah.
We need Brendan Fraser if we're fighting a mummy.
So, but I would roll this as combat still, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Just want to double check. All right, so that's 9. This would be battlefield tact. I mean, I guess it's.
How's
still
this not
weapon?
battlefield tactics?
Because weapon mastery is the use of literal weapons, but it's also using the technical interface to control ships, weapons, and tactical readouts.
So UI mastery thing that's not a skill she has anymore.
I do have.
When,
weapon
if
mastery,
you were
but
to
I have
engage
better
this
weapons
fighting,
mastery.
that's battlefield tactics.
Okay.
Could I?
Downloading and digesting information
Yeah.
is weapons mastery
Okay,
in this
so
case.
15.
Regardless, you surmise that this is the literal hand of the Colossus that has been turned into a battleship.
Oh.
And
How big
wait.
is this thing compared to all of the entire planet?
Or our ship. How big is it compared
And
yeah,
to
the whole planet.
Well,
I mean,
you said it emerged through the atmosphere. Is part of it unseen, or is
Is
it
this-
attached to the surface of the planet?
Is this a rocket fist?
yes.
The
so-
Colossus
Okay.
detached at the wrist. And
Okay. Colossus detached its wrist.
Yes.
The whole arm, this part of the arm is an actual spaceship.
Gotcha.
So dope.
It's a battleship.
That's
and
gonna
then
be in-
So if the ship is about the size of a fist, how big are we in comparison?
If that's a battleship,
smaller
I
than the
fire at
thumbnail.
C8.
So,
Oh,
so
man.
hold on. Are we?
Okay.
We're the platinum bird of prey, and to the star breaker.
yes.
See where I'm going there?
Yes.
That sounds
It's a
about right.
pizza slice.
Yeah. And the noise that the
Aluminum bird of prey.
slice shape. Get out of here.
Pizza slice ship.
I know.
through your panel, you can basically what you're sort of digesting in your knowledge of what happens on the battlefield is that it feels like it could blow you out of the sky at any given time, and it's just sitting there as a form of intimidation to force you to make the first move. But energy is starting to build up along its exterior.
Where's Phobos in relation to?
It's
Our
right
ship.
right behind you.
Okay.
Can we see the mountain that Rana flew over from here? Like, is that like, if our eventual goal is to get to the other side of Mars, then for us to detour to try and find Rana, is that still in the way of the fist?
It's
Could
a
we
no.
go around
I would
the
say
fist,
that
search for Rana, and then
here's
go
the
to
thing. I would say that this is what you're saying as a player is I would like to rescue Rana. However, your character is going to realize that Mars Prime is occupied with many thousands of people, the Swarm, and their Air Force, and she is not far from that. Taking the Kaizen anywhere near that would be suicide.
Okay, I'm gonna make an executive call. I'm gonna ask the crew to do the following, and that is going to be getting the neural network working so we can sabotage this ship that is about to decimate us.
Do we know that the neural network will, if we
Yes,
got it
its
to
Colossus is connected to it by definition. It's part of the neural network. And I'm going to order that ship to self-destruct once we get into that neural network.
Punch
Okay.
itself right in the face.
All right. Can we just have a like just for my sake, really, just like charge the armor, like ready weapons, like
all
that
we
sort
need
of
to
shit,
do- What the heck
like
we say?
general
What's your
quarters.
call
Can
out?
like we do that for
All
old
we
Ian?
need to do is find the Green Ranger and his flute and break the flute so his Zord deactivates. We're fine.
Well, we have no. You said we have absolutely.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what we do.
I didn't say that. I said it. Thinks
It's our
that.
first move.
I said it thinks that.
Can we do a
Her
I
analysis.
thought you said that her analysis was like you're totally effed.
No, you can't. It's a hand. It's a fist. Like it doesn't use the same technology. She has no idea what it's going to start throwing at you. But
punches,
what I meant to.
If it's anything like the witch, it's not
I feel
good.
like that's what the Colossus
Oh, it's
already
definitely
did, but
bad.
into orbit.
Just a quick.
But I didn't
So-
say you didn't have a chance.
But we can't do a
Okay.
tactical analysis of the ship itself now
That's
that
how
it's
we
right in
shot
front
it,
of
that's
us
what
to
I
determine weak points,
Right.
like
Yeah.
where's
So
That makes sense.
like
it is.
Who's got
it
the
is
best navigate here?
Anjali by a lot. She's
Okay.
master.
Okay.
Get me close to it. I know what to do.
So what do you say to us?
Okay,
Isaiah?
we'll do it. We'll do it.
You want me to role play it?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, let's get
I'm
into
a
it.
baby.
well, can I do a
Um,
tactical analysis first of the ship?
I thought we did that already.
Well,
No, you gotta tell her to do it. That's what we're talking about.
What's going
Isaiah,
on?
give me a tack. Can we,
Someone ought to
Tactical analysis.
great. Thank you.
I'm going to say code red, have weapons ready.
general quarters.
General quarters.
All right.
Be to your quarters.
Everyone to battle stations.
All right. So
16.
as everyone starts rushing,
Get
and
an
then
Naruto
the general quarters alert on the ship sounds. Everyone gets to their stations. People who are technically paralyzed strap themselves in and aren't in a shower.
I wanted to just say, I didn't want to interrupt, but the time when we got onto the ship, I was charging Arnold during
Okay.
that whole time.
No problem.
And I had strapped him into like
I-
what is an upright back brace.
I also had a request.
Plug him in.
Yeah.
Prior to the episode starting, I did request that 13
Yep.
be put in, sick bay.
He's
Wait,
in
hold
my
on, hold on.
Yeah.
He's in the med bay with
Can
me.
he be in a,
He's safe.
Can he be like right next
Oh,
to
he's
you?
in the other one. Yeah, they're
Just
both.
think of the picture of what he looks like, just right next to you as you're literally paralyzed in the chair. Like,
Do we-
all right.
Do we
Is he
have
tied down?
Do we have other ones in other rooms?
He's in a stasis
No.
thing, right?
So tactical analysis, to specifically answer your question, you're realizing that the way that energy is routed on this ship isn't like traditional, even what we would consider hyper modern circuitry. Think of the side of a like the HMS Victoria, which I know you don't know what that is, but it's the ship with the most amount of guns ever
Yeah,
assembled,
yeah.
and basically it is a giant mega series of cannons of very powerful energy.
You have any
Okay.
knuckle
It does not have
Nice.
shielding though, in the
Yes,
traditional
that's
sense, in the
for
sense that
sure.
you guys have charged armor to try and sort of reflect or absorb energy. It's similar to like a glorified predator suit, whereas this just doesn't. It's just huge,
And it hits really. So
and it hits really hard.
Is there
was
about a
the-
2 millimeter port access that we could
we get
fire
Yeah,
a photon
does that-
All right,
torpedo?
so we're gonna do
The
this
size
one
of
by
a
one.
womp rat, maybe?
Yeah.
Mr. Lock into these coordinates.
Tattooed on the knuckles is Mars.
Right. So the hand of the Colossus staring in the face, it's charging, tactical analysis, general quarters, you order.
Tactical analysis. Did it provide any weaknesses?
Yeah, that's what I
in
also
its
looked-
hull or any.
The weakness, I would describe the only weakness is that it does not have armor. It's just very big and very
Perfect.
solid.
It doesn't have
That,
shield.
in addition to the order of getting the neural network going to disrupt this ship and our eventual possible demise,
Nice.
I'm going to say, take us in.
What?
Go into the goddamn ship. Fly into that ship to the fist, Anjali.
Like literally collide?
No. Like there's got in those knuckles where things come out.
Okay.
Where you said describe this compared to this.
Captain,
Easily-
we have to get out of
Could-
here.
could I-
We have to get to the other side of
Captain,
the
this is
planet.
a crazy plan.
Bring
Can
us
I,
in.
can I ask a question? So the knuckles, that
Yep.
holds all the weapons, right?
Here,
Okay.
and then there's
So
a big one on the bottom.
I'm thinking angled turrets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how far do they angle up?
they have they basically unlimited 270 degrees.
Okay.
What about the top?
Yeah. So can they go boop and then they stop?
Unknown because they haven't. There might be things, but they are not active yet.
I'd also like to point out it's a ship and we're in space. So even if we wanted to say like blip over it, it can go woo.
So here's what's going to happen.
Captain, get us the heck
Evasive
out
maneuvers,
of here.
get us closer to as possible because maybe it's hard to hit. Legs, get on hacking it using the network. I'm sorry that you're tired. Fire weapons, stay still, and don't die.
Go behind the moon.
Yeah.
I think going inside
I
the ship
will
is
do my
brilliant.
best.
You know, it's like this sort of stuff. And it just starts pelting you. And then you're realizing that it's like armor like 90, 80, 70. Like you're just getting like slammed repeatedly. But you do get under the ship, and similar to what your call was, is it does start to chase you. And whereas I think she's probably going to be like, I need to get to the other side. So then it's more like this. But she's purposely keeping it so that she needs to roll.
She?
Anjali is the
Anjali's
pilot.
pilot.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were trying to refer to the.
If we had Rana, then we would have
The
gotten out of this
fist.
already.
She's
So
Anjali's
unfortunate.
still actually Anjali was a colonel in the Air Force, but anyway.
Yeah, but she's not Rana.
She's not. But
Does
she
she
have a
have a?
helmet?
I was about to say.
does she have a hat?
Does
like
she have
that?
a cool helmet?
No, she's like very well put together, like very elegant.
Oh, so
she's
she's
Then
not like
why does she have a fez on?
yeah. She's not weird. So
Weird choice.
it's like this. I need you to roll to see if you can give this a shot at the network, because your ship is just getting
course I can.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Even when we're underneath it, though.
I think if
Can
we're
I-
inside the ship, they can't fire on us.
We're
That
not
was the
inside the
goal. I'm saying if we could be and fly into, because there's no shields, there's no armor.
Fly directly
There's
into
gotta
the
be-
opening
Ian,
of
can
the
I
gun.
in
Yeah.
character disagree with him?
Yes, it would be unwise at this point. But
Yeah.
Why?
because we're wasting time. You're like, there is no opening. Like
Yeah,
you're
I
not
was
going to
about to
fly
say-
into the cannon. It's
Exactly.
a solid. It's a hand.
It's
There's
a
no
starship. You don't
openings?
just leave your ports open
It's
for
like
anyone
the
to
Death
fly
Star,
into.
You know what I mean? Like it's
It
like
does
Yeah,
not
This
have.
is our ship. The table is the fist coming at
Look,
us.
these
Do you want to?
look.
no, I want to go in one of the
You
holes.
can't,
the
it's
back
not
holes.
Look at this. You
It's not
can't.
solid. It's
Put
not
this
fully
dice-
solid.
put
There's
this dice
holes
through the
in the
table.
ship.
Put
By
this dice through the
definition.
The only hole are the cannons, or that are just
anybody
sending
need a
hailstorms of
Band-Aid?
energy at
Put it
you.
this way, Isaiah, they saw Star Wars and they're like, we're not going to do anything that stupid.
Yeah.
All right,
ancient
there's no holes in the ship.
There are no holes in the fist of the Colossus being that got
Fair
shoved
enough.
into the
So it's
space.
either try and outmaneuver to get like behind it or something,
Or blow it up.
Get the hell out,
We're the
or blow it up.
Or
It's
blow
the mighty one and we're the tricksters.
So
Have we even started firing?
yes, but we said actually let's roll for initiative between the two various paths.
Yeah.
So we have Anjali, defense and attack, and then yours is the special rabbit and hat plan. Sound good?
Sure.
2d6, go.
2d6 for me as well.
Yep.
Are we all?
Are you using pig, Jared?
What is it? What action are you taking that's not what they're doing?
To do what?
I want to support
rabbit
legs
and
and
hat.
getting the hell out.
Then he's rolling the initiative for you.
So then,
Okay.
no. You're
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh, a 1 and a 6. 7.
9.
All right, so then you're going first. So then if you want to try to attack it, then by all means.
Yeah.
While they do this, Ian, can I be with Pig, trying to like use what I know about science and electronics to get any information about the ship?
Legs will need pig.
Okay, that was my question.
Because that's where the network is.
Okay.
So you can
Okay.
assist Nora and him to try and do something.
16.
So the Kaizen is equipped with heavy weapons.
Do you guys have those EMP things or no?
You do
I
at
have
like the
EMP
personal
programming.
level.
No, but for the ship.
The Kaizen?
Yeah.
It
What do
didn't
you mean?
initially because I think I had to, in a safe harbor, get EMP programming technology. But I do
The
have
ship is
that.
not armed with that from its own weapon standpoint, but
Okay.
you have.
It does
I
have
think, the
quantum
darts.
Yeah.
torpedoes, though, correct?
It has very heavy weapons, probably some of the best that Earth has. And as you're going in it, you strafe the bottom of it, and basically giant chunks of it almost looks like rock, but it's not technically rock. It's more like if the density of rock was times 100. It's really what this material
Is it
is.
creating
But you're
holes
blowing
in the
pieces
hole?
off of it.
Okay.
Like for sure, like a lot of damage is coming. Like you're taking a lot of damage out of its hull.
Is it
No.
is it creating ruptures in the hull to shoot a explosive device
Is
closer
there a
to
hole
the
there
core.
yet?
Are we
there-
tunneling? I would say that the precision of your shots, especially given Anjali is trying to not get completely destroyed out of the sky, is excellent. You probably hit it a half dozen times, and each time there's a huge chunk that gets blown off.
So
Question,
can
now
we do
that we're-
an aim shot towards the already damaged part?
Yes.
Could
Not the
I hear what
second.
Amula has to say because
Yeah.
this is her turn for tactical advice as
right.
the tactician?
All right.
Just one question. So now that we're underneath it, is it still able to shoot at us? Or
We don't know yet. Because
Okay.
I'm trying to do this like in
Okay.
segments of 10 seconds or
Okay.
so.
All right.
Go ahead.
For
Yeah.
what?
Are you going to use the neural network in an attempt to sabotage this thing?
Yes.
Try to make it
I have an action.
take control and
So
make
what I
it give Mars the finger.
Hesitantly, but with.
So good. It would be so good. Give nothing. I think that if we're
If you programmed
Forced
it
to
and
give
it
it
just
the
goes.
finger, yeah.
Just flip off Mars.
Hank is hesitant, but hearing the ideas from everybody else.
So I'm just gonna be screaming this from my seat in the med bay. But if
We
it's
have
a
comms.
hand and it was attached to a body, we should try and see if we can find there has to be some kind of mechanics in the hand to make it work. Yes, and we're assuming it's probably gonna be close to the wrist because it's a hand. People right
Nervous systems.
here is where the most important parts are. So if you can get the schematics of the actual anatomy, for lack of a better word.
Why don't we just blow up the Colossus's brain?
Well, if we knew where it was.
Well, neural network.
It's the face of Mars.
We're dealing with the hand right now.
Trying to talk
That's a
to
12?
it and it's not.
That's a 17.
What if we
Nice.
do sign
That's a 3?
language towards the hand?
And is it electronic? So I get 4?
I love
Or is it still 3?
It's whatever your talent is. So you basically, if you don't add anything to it, but for the talent, and then
Well,
your
no.
justification.
How many times I roll the dice?
3.
Because
Yep.
it's a
Yep.
master.
Sorry, my fault. Yep.
Okay.
It's a 3.
Okay,
3 times.
so it's 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. So 17 plus 6 for hacking.
And is anyone else sacrificing their turn to aid to that roll?
I will gladly sacrifice. Hold on,
Two
hold
of
on.
us are just
Arnold,
hold on.
absolutely.
Arnold, get in the cannon, hold your knife like this.
Yes!
It's like a conduit for all energy. Wait, this fallout knife is the key.
Hold on, just get me close.
Put it in the torpedo tube.
I need to
Wait,
hold
we've
my
had
hand.
vampire essence the whole
I
time.
need to hold my knife hand like
battering
this
ram?
Yeah.
and summon planet Earth, give me your life force.
And what specifically are you
23.
trying to do with engage? Just tell me, give me what's your description of your turn?
It was to figure out the anatomy of the hand. Was that?
Well, there's
So that we can find the
there's
weak
two
points.
things, right?
Yeah.
So one is, can we cause it to self-destruct? And 2, can we somehow glean information on the connection this hand has to the rest of the Colossus and somehow trace it back to the body, or how
Find a
it
weak
works,
spot.
or
Okay.
something along those lines? So there's two
Which of
routes.
those two is
Well,
primary?
so
what do we care about more?
Does he have robot
my
carpal tunnel?
understanding of the neural network is it's the entire communication system of the entire planet.
It's more complicated than that, but
But-
that's
but
part of it.
that's
It's
even-
one of the
right.
frequencies of the planet.
Yeah.
Like all
so
reds
it
aren't.
could
It's the
potentially
cloud.
have secrets to a lot of different things.
I would say in a safe harbor,
Great.
investigating that.
Oh, is this a safe harbor?
Seems real safe.
That's it. We've done
Hold
it.
on, hold on. So we're in the neural network, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we find the Colossus' internet history, right? And we blackmail him.
I
think
think
that's
the
a great
plan
idea.
was to find some form of an anatomical schematic
Find its
for the
schematics.
Colossus, so we can pinpoint where we should do the most amount of damage.
Or if
Find
not,
its-
damage a blind spot where we won't get hit. And we could just keep
Find its
annoyingly
schematics
kind
so
of
that we
avoiding
can know where to sit, and then if that also leads to what is the weakest point that we can hit.
Okay.
Schematics
Also-
first.
We can also see where their sensors activate. And if their sensors are long range and have kind of a low area blind spot,
Right.
can we land there? And this is a completely original idea that I didn't get from any movie ever.
Okay.
So yeah, they haven't deployed any top or bottom guns yet, so that would also be in the scan hopefully.
Not all great ideas are original, right?
Correct.
But ours are.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
I thought
So
of that.
23 total.
And with the justification and Chris, Arnold. Okay.
Also, I'm
So-
going to throw my turn as well.
What's
Like I
your-
said-
what's
like
your
I said-
electronics?
What's my electronics? Non-existent.
Oh, okay.
I have
He was
cooking
patting on the back though.
and
Well, here's how I
Oh
interpret
yeah,
it.
we went over this.
Here-
last-
here- Here's how I interpret it, though. You're not helping with the electronics. Here's what happens more from a story perspective. You know, amid us firing, us getting hit, you've opened up Pig's interface and are desperately trying to dig into the network, and it's the needle and a needle and a needle of a haystack, right? Like
Don't worry, his little tail is rotating as like a little fan exhaust port.
All right, that's really cute. Can't get distracted. That's adorable.
That's really
The goal is distract the DM.
You are. Remember how I said going into it, you're exhausted. You are about to literally collapse when Arnold detaches himself from the chair. While he was charging, and
I don't
you
do
pick
it
him up.
gracefully. Like I kind of just wiggle out of it.
Yeah, but he catches you, and before you fall completely unconscious,
My sweet
you
sunshine.
are able to get a schematic of the entire Colossus, not just the hand. So you are able to pass that to Asima's terminal.
Okay.
But you are now unconscious for the rest of the scene.
Pass my little tablet or
Okay.
some sort of.
And you may
HUD.
there may be other consequences for having overextended yourself, but I'll give that to you for that
Could
bit.
I make a secondary suggestion that he hand it to the captain because he has electronics training?
I would say that it's now in the ship's database.
Yeah, they
So
like that.
that's
Okay, I
more
was
what
just
I
can access
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You had an action?
I had an action.
I take on space
I'd
in
like
my
to do
I was
two
just gonna say,
smaller
I'm
things,
attacking
if you'll
the
permit me.
It depends. Pick one first and we'll see where we go.
Okay, I'll pick the more important one first, and then you can decide on the second. I would like to divert and section off the ship to put all of the power into our shielding, or at least try and conserve as much power for our shields and weaponry as possible. So like not all non-essential systems would be shut down for the time being.
That is a semi-automated process in a combat. So basically, Asima would have already done
Okay.
that as part of General Quarters protocol. So
Okay.
auxiliary power is funneled to charging the armor and of course powering the weapon. So you don't even that's done for free.
All right.
I don't get to feed my
Then
Neopets.
if that's already done,
Like the ship is really damn good.
yeah, it's a great ship.
Yeah, but for like
Tamagotchi's gonna die.
but for certain things having happened on this planet that are beyond our current comprehension, the ship would easily be the best. The ship's unbelievable.
Yeah, but okay. So then for my action, I'd like to go and try and modulate our system slightly so that we can counteract the dampening field that's around Mars Prime for future use, and sort of try and understand the frequency of their shielding system, so we could possibly
Blow it up.
All right.
or fire through it, or do any of that, or just
So
understand.
if
it
this
better.
is more of an investigate,
It's more
this
of a
is science.
It's a hard science.
if you were trying to hack it, that's electronics.
yeah, I
but
don't.
then
I just
roll-
want to understand it.
Totally get it. Roll
Okay.
science.
All right.
Could you find out if their shield is moon proof?
Oh wait, I should do this 2 at a time for 6s. I forgot.
Yep. But if you know the colors, then it's the same difference.
I rolled 2 once,
That's why.
and then I rolled 2 3s. Best
Okay.
Yahtzee roll ever. 6 and half a survivalist again, or this is hard science, so maybe.
This is
Eden
hard
machine?
science. What's that?
Eden machine. Because it seems like a hard science with Eden machine.
I would say this is more of you're trying to see how they're logically constructed.
Oh, I have logic.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll use logic.
Yeah.
All right, then it's a 10 total.
So what you discover, you don't necessarily have a solution, but you discover what they're doing. The frequency of both their shielding and sort of obscuring communications and sensors is this sort of infinite remodulation of frequency. However, you're realizing that even though there's seemingly an infinite combination of values,
Is there like a
because there's an encryption to those values, it can be broken, meaning you could automatically find that pattern.
Okay, and then the secondary action I discussed was I'd like to send out an SOS message to Earth through my wristband really quickly, just like pressing basically a giant panic button.
It'll take time to get there, but yeah, you
but
can
I
do
want
that.
them to understand that we're not doing well.
Yeah, like I'll say that your turn concurrent with this 10 seconds, 10,
They
15
said
seconds.
this
Like
was
you,
suicide
you,
mission.
you do that first. You do that first.
Yeah, I slap my
And
wrist
then
and
you do
then I
the-
just do 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 do
Okay.
do do do.
So
Wasn't their last transmission like we know?
now
Yeah, they basically
Can
iced us.
I make an
but
action?
doesn't
One
mean
second.
that historical records shouldn't
Okay.
show what we do.
So they get a turn. So the ship is above, and basically there is a bay that opens. Your dorsal armor just gets completely
Yeah, I took it from
obliterated, so it goes to 0 in one turn. And the ship takes severe damage. So basically, it bombs, blows out the armor. Anjali is like, trying to keep it, but there's barely anything she can do, and she has to break out a little bit as she's doing it. And then, all right, this is for their last action.
Oh no!
Oh, are we
So-
dead in
Was that
space?
for the fist or Anjali?
Please be for Anjali.
So Anjali does an evasive maneuver, and they shoot another one of those EMP spikes through our ship. But one of the things that Cetas did do is nullified the EMP so that it won't knock you out, but now there's a giant spike coming through the front of the ship.
Yeah, we have a whole breach.
And there is an automated alert saying that there are intruders on
So
the ship.
it doesn't infect the ship, right?
It does not knock out your power, but
Okay.
this may be a glorified way of sending troops onto a ship.
What
Is it
what
a
does
harpoon? or
what does
It is a harpoon that's big enough to house people in a shaft, almost like a Pez dispenser.
Okay.
Oh, it's a boarding pod.
With EMP-based properties.
But that we're unaffected by that, so that did hit our
So
ship.
everything electronic is not affected by the EMP.
Correct. It is.
Okay.
But we
There
now
is no
have
EMP effect.
Likely
Cool, 'cause I got a
Leviathan on the
thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the entirety of their turn.
Can I take Arnold and our new friend and myself and lock us in the med bay? Because if we have and Pig,
I'm already in there too.
right?
So you guys
So,
are.
like we have a bunch of injured people, and I don't like if we.
So
have,
you're doing all that in the med bay?
No, I went to the med bay, handed whatever to Asima, and then crashed somewhere, either on a couch or in the med
So
bay.
where did you
Or
do
on
the
the floor.
investigation with Pig?
On the bridge.
I would
Then
assume-
you're unconscious on the bridge.
All right, so then I'm
Okay,
gonna try and I would say Arnold and I are gonna drag our buddy into the med bay.
Okay, so I'll let you do that as your turn. So all four of you, well, I guess all 5 of you, if we're counting 13, are now locked in the med
Isn't
bay.
13 unconscious because he
Yeah,
he
but
has
he's
nails in
in
his brain?
stasis. Yes, he's in stasis in the
Okay.
med bay.
Yeah.
So you 3, Pig, and 13 are now locked in the med bay.
Yep.
Marcus.
Who wouldn't
I
wanna
would
be in
like
the med
to-
bay locked in with that guy.
Right.
He's a very attractive man. I would like to, using the schematics that we have, see if there's a way I can hack into this, I guess you call it harpoon arm, to retract itself. And I want to attach an explosive device to the harpoon, so when it retracts, it goes inside their ship and detonates in their ship. Is that possible?
It's plausible.
You can have one of her timed EMP darts.
But also, we
that
would
big enough?
be suffering a giant hull breach if we did that.
Well,
Currently
it
with
would
this-
auto shield. We wouldn't get blasted into space.
I mean, but our shielding's already. We're using our shielding to block blaster blows, unless you want.
Well, I don't
Are
think
we being
that.
sucked out into space right
I
now?
don't think their goal
No.
is to.
If you were there, yes, but you're
Okay.
not. You're on
I
the
don't
bridge.
think their goal right now is to destroy us because they're sending people aboard. They want something. Probably.
You
Yeah.
and probably 13.
I think it's
Yeah.
me.
So
Or
my other idea was, if they are trying to destroy us, to use my subterfuge and hacking to create a holographic, to trick their computers in creating a holographic other ship. You know what I mean? To distract them, like
I'll
a
let you do one
decoy.
of those.
Yeah.
Which
So
plan are you
I have
gonna choose?
those 2 ideas. I don't know. I think we need to stop. That's going to be temporary. So I think I'm going to do the explosive device.
So you're going to rig an explosive device. To
Yeah,
have
like a
this
tactical,
pod
like basically the
automatically
equivalent of a
retract.
tactical nuke to the thing, and then hotwire it to explode when we're safe enough.
Do
to
we have a
destroy.
tactical nuke?
No, but
That's why I said the equivalent.
Oh,
of
the
a
equivalent.
tactical-
I'll
Okay, I
say
didn't hear the equivalent.
you can say the biggest thing that biggest explodey thing on your ship.
Yeah,
I'll
that's,
try to
that's
rig to
totally
it.
fine.
So then that's going to be a joint action between you and Asima.
So you want me to roll electronics? or
You,
you want me
if
to
you're
roll,
hacking,
do you want me
she's
to
doing
roll
the blowy
subterfuge?
uppy. What's that?
Do you want me to do subterfuge because this is like
Um,
trickery, or is this electronics?
electronics, because you're forcing it to go to
Okay.
basically do the opposite.
All right.
So it is, but you also have to, basically it has to be a very high roll because you just got the schematics. I'm not saying you're not capable of processing that information, I'm just saying it's difficult.
Would the suit help process the information? Seriously, I don't think the human eye could probably do it as well as with
You're
that.
not a human, so you're going to be able to do it pretty quick.
Okay.
With any of our great role playing this session, would any of us have gotten chips up until now?
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
I'm
sir.
unconscious over here.
Yeah, no sir. They get refreshed.
So did I use up my turn just by moving legs, or can I?
I mean,
still
you
try?
dragged a guy like
4 decks.
45 feet.
What help?
There's just two like dents leading up to the.
Can there have been like one quip on the way, like, I really wish we were back at that hotel?
Like-
or like, what was his name again? Like the guy that you like stiffed?
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. He was just a concierge.
Terry.
Terry. Yeah,
Terry.
We
Like-
named him Terry.
Yeah.
He didn't actually have a name.
Right.
Detached cable.
Yeah.
Like that guy is dead now,
Yeah,
so
but
I don't
he's
have to worry about it.
Yeah.
True, that building blew up.
Yes.
Like so, I'm just imagining like.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
He's
about
heavy
that.
and metal, but I also want to wake him up.
Electronics.
All right.
And unfortunately, no, because that is a
as-
lot of time. I was probably a little too generous, but for the sake of argument.
So as part of our turn, though, can I do any sort of scan to understand who the hell is on our ship?
Time is going in about 10-second increments. So as
Okay.
it hits,
They
your computer
fireball
scans
down
it,
into the
and your
ship.
computer's like, FYI, they're about to, like, they're boarding.
Got it.
There's
They're
life
not like
signs.
12 dudes on the ship already.
I'll
but
tell you who
Okay,
entered our
good.
ship.
Can she help me with my role? Seema?
She has a whole separate part of her role, so no. You're each on your own. You each
You're
have
trying
to
to hack.
succeed.
She's doing the physical.
This is
putting
a
the
very
bomb
this
on
is
the
a
thing.
difficult but admirable plan.
I know exactly who entered our ship. Dead men.
13.
I hear they jump over.
They won't.
And you're saying that you want to hack this to basically
Retract
and
back
go up
into
into the
the
ship
ship.
and explode. All right, so let's see if you. I won't say if you're successful, but let's see if you rig the weapon.
And okay, so I can. Yeah. 16.
Jesus Christ.
So you
Both of those are
program
impossible.
one of your limited supply.
Tactical equivalent nuke.
Yeah, I don't know.
thing.
I don't know what the weapon is called, but basically, it's a burst of highly concentrated energy where you can programmatically modify its explosion radius.
Okay.
So you go.
Oh, a chimera bomb?
Yes.
Yeah.
A chimera bomb.
kinda like,
That's what I meant to say out loud. So you go. Maximum.
It's like servant of the court, Doom. I'm trying to like, and his pistol gun that like changes.
Have I seen that? I don't know what that is.
It's he frowns a lot and wears a helmet.
Oh.
Anybody correct?
I'm trying really hard. I'm really hard.
I feel like
We're
I'm kind
amateurs
of.
and we don't know how to not add IP, so we're
I
just
don't
gonna
know.
just
I don't
say
know
it.
what I'm allowed to say. Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd.
I haven't seen
Okay.
that.
Wow,
Fair enough.
that we weren't gonna
Wait,
get
you've
that.
never seen any of them?
No, sir.
Jared's seen him.
Okay, so he like
I've
saw the
seen it.
new
And
one.
I
he says something to
seen
his
the
gun
old
like EMP, and it turns into an EMP thing.
That's kind of baller.
Acidic, and then it does that.
Damn. All right. Fair
Confetti.
enough. So you shoot it,
Lobster.
but then you have it come back and it attaches to the ship and
Okay.
starts beeping.
Okay.
Is Marcus? Your thing starts to leave the ship, but it gets stuck.
On what?
Like your ship is like it came in. It's toothy.
Is it okay?
Okay,
so,
so can you describe what it's like,
physically
how it's stuck and where?
So
Sleep all the other
if this is the closest thing that I can do
Exactly.
to a maple leaf shape, it went through right about here. So like think of it like this. It tried to retract and got stuck.
So
Is it
the arm is going like this?
Yep.
All right.
Is it because
the-
the,
'Cause it's
the
barbed.
things didn't, like the
Yeah.
barbs didn't fully retract?
Some of them broke.
All right.
But it tried, but it's not so much that the electronics, it's that it literally
It's
got
physically-
stuck.
I'd
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
request
So the
a
electronics
team,
are still
team
retracting.
action with Seema, if I
Yeah.
may.
You guys, are you guys gonna
Not
kick
this
it?
turn, because
You just
like you
You just
yeah.
did.
You're unconscious. You guys are in the bebe. You're the only one with a turn, other than Anjali, who really needs to roll well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay at the helm.
Light
I'm
machete.
going to seeing them trying to create a bomb out of nothing and get foreign technology to somehow do exactly what we want. Legs being completely out of commission, Arnold barely charged and ready to fall over. and Saoirse being 14 and a child.
Holla.
Put me in, coach.
Just putting everything
That
into
cured
Nora's
cancer,
perspective.
though.
Yeah.
She is
I
going
heard about
to go to Anjali, like call from her station to Anjali, and just be like, what if we did a dead drop? What if we shut down all systems, make it look like the ship's out of commission, have our suits on, cut off life support, and just fall back onto Mars looking like we're about to crash? Their sensors would read that we're dead. They'd think it's productive, and all we have to do is get those people and get the androids and kill them, which I think we can handle.
I think.
Why would they fire on a dead ship?
You could also cut any of those remaining.
Well, I
prongs
think you or
holding
somebody
the
else said they're not clearly not here to destroy the ship,
Yeah.
or else they would have probably tried to do that. They're here to get something or someone.
Right, so if there's a dead ship, they're going to try to catch us.
Yeah.
I would say though that she's inspired by your idea and say maybe being closer to the atmosphere might give us a better chance, because if their weapons miss, they'll hit the surface probably, because they're not going to get stopped by the atmosphere.
But
So
let's keep in mind, people, that they did blow up a whole building full of their own people.
She was
Also,
having a bad
just
day.
the
We're
one.
kind
She
of
was
stuck.
temperamental. And then
We're not
that's,
moving
can I
anywhere,
just
right?
say that's the speaking portion of my turn, and then I have an action portion of my turn, or is my speaking my whole action?
it's not your whole action. The ship can move. It's just moving with a giant spike in it.
It's
So the
still fully
spike's not
operational.
attached to the fist?
Correct. No, they're
No.
totally separate.
Oh, so
Well,
it was
my
like
idea didn't
a
even
ship
work.
with troops in it.
Because
Yeah.
it went in, and you were going to programmatically send it back up into the ship and explode.
Okay.
Basically, return trajectory.
I thought it was
back
like
into
a
port.
claw, like a.
No. I mean, that's a traditional harpoon, and you did say harpoon, and normally they have some form of tether. For
That's
an
totally fair.
For an
It
entire
does not have
flight,
it. It
I
does
mean-
not, that's totally fair. It does not have a tether.
So it's
why
more
I
of an
asked for
insertion pod.
clarification.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. For that,
Oh, yeah.
and for my
Insertion
actual
pod.
physical turn, I'd like to roll science to shut down and complete lockout every door from where the harpoon is to the bridge in medbay.
Go for
Just
it.
so, because we have insertion, I'd like to ensure that it stays not.
This is actually more of a combat roll, to tell you the truth. Because what you're doing is you're activating ship's protocols,
I
right?
mean, activating the main deflector?
But and that's not science.
I would, because historically we've used combat to control ship's mechanics. Although if you're at a science station,
Yeah,
Security.
that's
Yeah.
only. You know,
All
I got
right, yeah, go
one
ahead.
thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Security.
I mean, my combat isn't terrible, but oh no, I can roll combat. Never mind, it's also really high. I saw you almost want it to be a
Or
6, and
electronics,
now
because
I'm
that's some
mad at
sort
you.
of electronic station.
It is. Okay, that's a 9 plus logic, maybe? Or, I mean, this is, if we're gonna use combat,
Or survivalist.
survivalist.
That is very
I don't
survival.
want to die.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, cool.
And trying
Sorry,
to
15 is my total roll.
Not have your
So-
team die.
You know, obviously, sort of, you're in the middle of this cacophony, this insanity, and you're trying to activate some of the self-defense protocols on the ship, and you realize that when this thing, it didn't trigger the EMP, but it damaged a number of the ship's subsystems.
I understand.
So you're frantically trying to reestablish the ship's self-defense protocols and sort of bridge new connections between your console and the rest of the ship, which you're successfully able to do. So some of the lockout procedures just won't work as the doors are fused, but some of them will. So it'll be significantly more difficult in the event that they board, which they will, to make it particularly far into the ship. Further, the ship also comes with, the Kaizen is modular in the sense that various aspects of the ship, similar to the Colossus, are just actually like one contiguous piece.
That we could, like,
So
totally
you could
just shoot
so you
off
could remove
pods.
the atmosphere, you could suck it out into space, like you can shut it off. So basically it's an intelligent way to think about, like, if for example, like if we were ever boarded and we were only on the bridge, we could vent the rest of the ship.
Okay, then I have my turn for next turn.
Yep. Anjali.
So basically, fend off whatever wave comes in, and then try and cut off those hooks so that your
Problem
plan
is,
works.
They're not
if
coming
it's
in.
Leviathans, we're screwed.
They can't.
Can't
They
fit.
can't fit in a harpoon.
Seems like a big
Anjali does a bomb toward near the planet's surface, but they just keep firing, and unfortunately, she keeps the dorsal shields pointed instead of rotating. She rolls a
she's not
4.
quantum.
even.
Now, that actually might help us. Would the explosion jar the thing loose?
It's gonna jar a lot of things loose.
Including the harpoon with the explosive?
It might. I can roll a luck roll. So
Yeah.
she
Roll a
does
9.
this, and it just along the top of the ship there are a series of explosions,
You're afraid you're
including
gonna
on
get
the
sucked
bridge.
out.
So there are a number of explosions on the ship. So everyone who's on the bridge needs to roll a 2d6.
Yeah, where am I? Am I on the bridge?
Everyone's on the bridge
Yep.
except
Uh,
for
everyone.
me, Jared, Chris, and
borders?
13.
and 13. Right.
So
and Pig.
Pig.
Marcus,
So half of us
Seema,
are-
and Nora
yeah.
have to roll to see if you were.
Sucked out?
2 predator suits and Nora, though.
You're afraid you're gonna get sucked out. What are we rolling for?
To see
Sucked
if you were
out.
caught in the
What
explosion.
do we roll?
Just a 2d6 luck roll to start.
Luck roll.
I'm gonna miss
6.
you guys.
6.
Not horrible. 9.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa.
Unfortunately, all of you are hit. So
Get
basically, not getting sucked out, but there isn't. You don't necessarily lose.
This is episode 6.
There's not a hull breach. However,
It's like explosions. with like
a number of pieces of the electronics just literally rip apart on the bridge, and 6, 6, 9. That's how much. So basically, no, you would take 3, but each of you would take 6 damage.
Okay.
So
I am at 3
like,
health.
and then you're probably pretty badly burned. You get the appearance of being burned, but
Wait,
we'll
did
say
you
for
up
your say your
yourself last
injuries
time?
are more of a
I
technical
haven't gotten a chance
nature,
to heal
but
yet.
Professional.
definitely
I meant like
took a really bad.
have
Maybe it's
higher
more like a
health.
physical
Do you have
bludgeoning
higher
that you took.
Predator.
You got
Good
slammed
help.
against a
I
console.
have total of 15 health.
Does our defense
Yeah.
apply to any, like, when we take damage? Like, is it like, I have a defense of 3.
That
Would
reduces
minus
damage by 3, and I try to take that into account because everyone here should have roughly the same defense within a couple. So you probably don't have very much,
Yeah, 'cause
which I take into account. You probably have 2 or 3. So I'm usually trying to
Okay.
do that proactively.
So
Because they have the same.
do we subtract the 2 from that?
No.
He already did that.
Are there
Wow.
I
got
was, I
8.
was asking.
You
'cause
took 6.
Okay.
are there any other predator suits on board this ship?
Great question.
No,
would've
Yes,
taken 8,
but
but
they
your defense
require
is 2.
significant training.
So you take 6
In
as
theory, at a safe harbor, it is possible to train you.
Marty.
What about if I have historical knowledge of the training?
I'll let you roll. It's gonna have to be really high.
Okay.
Just regular 2d6.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is just a brain roll. Roll a brain roll.
Might as well.
roll a brain.
That is a 6.
Can say no.
You
plus a
obviously
4,
know
so
of
that's
them.
a 10.
You obviously know of them, and you certainly know of their place in history.
Oh, let's hear it.
They
Back
help.
in 2044, the predator suit.
Was tested by my character.
So you certainly know of them, and you certainly know of their place in history. I'll even say that you've been in it. It's almost like, you go to those like
Like in a
anti-grav
museum.
chambers where you're going up, and it's just like kids and like adults, like ha ha ha. But you don't know. You're not like.
There's a
Just,
professional.
just,
No, fair
just an
enough.
FYI, the Predator
I'm-
suit experiment was 2066.
Look, I'm just saying.
Out of character.
Okay. 2066.
I see.
That'd be good.
So there's a huge explosion. You guys get tossed, thrown about. Asima, you get pretty badly burned, like around here. Nora, it's more of a bludgeoning. Same with Marcus.
The
I
light
get
blood.
bludgeoned.
Like you smash your face in the panel, like it's like a huge explosion, and you can see that you're venting oxygen into space, and the ship has started to list because a lot of the systems have been severely damaged.
But if you roll a 9, it also hits the harpoon.
Could my
That was the
roll-
luck roll, so it was an 8 or above. I rolled an 8. So the harpoon is dislodged, so it does start flying up toward the ship.
Neat.
However, 2 of the people did manage to board, although they are in lockdown.
Cool.
So they're basically like, just as an FYI, they're basically like, there's no such thing as a mini Leviathan, but it's basically like a smaller version of that.
It's
So
a lighter,
somewhere
more.
between-
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
Yeah, it's
all
a
right
shock
and
trooper.
It's
Leviathan.
another combat automaton.
yeah, exactly.
It's just an Uthen.
But does it have the
Gotcha.
same
It's a levy.
power as a Leviathan? Like, can it do literally everything a Leviathan?
Unknown. We haven't encountered
Unknown.
it
We
yet.
haven't fighted them.
Do they also have dog heads?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think
They
you-
look like Leviathans, just
Right.
Do they
Oh, well,
have
isn't it jackal? I think they were
toy
jackals.
It was a
It's
jackal.
toy
It's a
breed
jackal.
of
Jackal.
dog.
Jackal.
Oh, so it's a Pomeranian.
It's a
Jackal.
chihuahua.
Okay,
Oh,
so
jackals.
their turn is up. listing in space. That's going up toward them.
my second
People in the med
favorite
bay. It's
sci-fi.
up
I
to
want to
you.
make a roll.
Listing in
bay.
space.
I'm gonna roll to try and wake this guy up because he's the only tank we have in this game.
Fast adrenaline,
So that
straight to
would
his
be a
veins.
healing roll.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ooh, not good. Much better. Okay, so 4 and a 3, and I mean, I don't think is surgical skill gonna help me here or disease.
What about
knowledge?
piggy poo? Wouldn't piggy poo help you?
Wouldn't just like injecting him with like epinephrine
This is-
wake
that's
him
what
up?
This is
I'm
more
thinking.
just like a straight healing role, like really to help the guy. It's not, you're
I
not
don't
doing
have like
surgery.
cancer. You're just waking me up.
All right.
Put some like
Oh, no.
what smelling salts under my
Essential
nose.
oils. That'll solve it.
Do you have a crystal nearby?
Oh God. So yeah, I mean,
Heal me.
if it's just a straight roll, then it's a 7.
Well, you might have talents. I'm
Okay,
not,
yeah.
I'm
So my
suggesting you
talent
don't.
would probably be I have surgical skill, disease knowledge.
I'm going to reinterpret. I think surgery is a very narrow talent.
more like an
I would say
anatomy,
that it's more
Doctor
like
stuff.
battlefield medicine is how I will interpret that because,
Rewrite it.
well, maybe not battlefield medicine, more like trauma medicine.
Triage.
Very good.
Triage.
Right.
Trained in triage.
All right. So, although she would be a master at it, is what.
Yeah, you're a
So-
master
That's
of
a
triage.
13.
Great.
Triage.
Not to make it too easy, but I just think that
I think you're
technical
right about that.
surgery is different in a lot of cases. You realize that Legs' brain has almost been entirely drained of serotonin, and a lot of the energy in his body is in a weird state of flux. So if you forcibly attempt to revive him without substituting that, it'd be bad. However, you feel you may have a solution to help act as a surrogate for his body's serotonin, and then you might be able to revive him. I'll let you make that decision whether you
want
want to
some
go through with
serotonin.
that, but you are able to.
So
do
what
that.
I'm essentially doing is pulling my
You gotta
own
get that
serotonin
serotonin.
and sharing it with him.
No. You have a supply. Basically,
Oh,
a
I have a
supply. Basically, we have a compound. It's like a miracle compound that we can alter its chemistry to turn it into a bunch of different things, serotonin
banana.
included.
Got it.
You could turn it into blood of any type. You could turn it. It's like a miracle substance.
You're gonna be
I like miracle substances.
loopy a little bit.
So
Very
you
happy
could
man.
inject it into his brainstem and then wake him up.
yeah, we're gonna do that.
Sorry.
Okay, so you, so you
I'm
don't have to roll because this is more. I just want to see if you want to make that call.
I would say
You are
if
correct.
I were in if she were in this position, there's nothing physically that is like I know the reason why his serotonin has been drained. I watched him run the systems and why he was like a little out of it post, and I would know like what having a lack of serotonin would do to the body, and I would probably associate that with how he was acting beforehand.
Yeah.
Saw the codes
And
roll
physically,
through my
otherwise,
eyes.
he's fine.
I mean, he's
Other than
very
exhausted.
sore and tired. You
Right.
know,
Well,
if we
my
get-
health is almost.
Oh my
I
God,
only took,
he's missing his legs.
I took 3 physical damage before I was knocked out.
Right. I mean,
Dude.
in real life, like I would probably have like a third of your health, and if I lost a third of my health, it would be like I worked out for like 8 straight hours.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't
Or
say
for
just because
5
like
minutes.
like Asima is at a fourth of her health. Like she's in really, really rough shape.
Okay.
Like there should be a proportional scale. You know, like
I
in
can say I
hospitals,
know-
like how in pain are you?
Yeah.
And like the
About
the
a
one
10.
is
I
I have a
need
really
a total
frowny
back to
face.
tank submersion.
So a quarter of my health.
Check.
so
minus my
Sirsha,
So
You
I
would-
would make that a
you inject Legs'
another 3.
brainstem with your concoction and also forcibly revive him. Legs, you awake, your heart is beating at like
yeah.
180, you know, it's like really fluttering and you're like, whoa, like, you know, you're like, you know,
You probably
moving.
feel dope.
got it.
But you
Ah,
sit up.
Hank,
Let's go fix the day.
welcome back to the land of the living for 5 minutes.
What are
You
we doing?
notice
Where am I going?
you notice immediately that the ship's like the lights are flickering, the power is tough, the intruder alert signal is flashing,
Dun, dun.
All right.
and not the best way to wake up.
I'm gonna like grab you by the face and be like, okay, do not overexert yourself because you're gonna have a heart attack and I can't fix that right now. So here's the thing. Take a deep breath. All right. We have to figure out how to fix the ship's major problems first.
Send me somewhere. Where do I go?
Oh my God,
What do I
you
do?
need to chill out. I get it, I really do, but like we really need to calm down. So I'm gonna assume that in the med bay there is still a connection to like the ship itself. Like I have a computer
Absolutely,
there.
yeah.
So you're gonna sit down. Not that really matters because you don't have human legs, but
Hey,
Whoa,
I
man.
have my own legs.
I am legs.
So I'll seat you at the
I'm
computer
self-sufficient. Don't patronize me.
and see if there's anything that you would be able to do from lockdown at the moment to assist in the ship. Would be my recommendation as your doctor, and not to leave the lockdown that we're in right now.
Vent the intruders.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could
you
I?
also probably.
Well,
How about
do you
this?
update me on?
Pigeon just showed
Here's what I would say.
Do you update me
Again.
on what has already happened?
I mean, you were awake for most of it.
Here's a
What you
voice
saw is what I
float
saw
through
because
you.
then I immediately
just-
pulled you into
Saoirse's
bed.
only
Like, the metagaming
tangentially
pigeon is
aware.
the one that goes,
However, her advice is wise because you're going to go to the panel and then the panel is going to tell you at least some information.
Okay.
What that information is, I'll let you roll an electronics roll to extract. Then you'll let you make an
Dude.
action depending on what that information tells you.
I would like to make an electronics roll to extract.
I love it.
That's a 3. That's an 18. And that's a 12. 18 plus 6 for hacking. 24.
Great.
Impossible.
Minus 5.
And by the
19.
way, the 24s on this are different than 24s on that. So just so that we're all clear.
Yeah, different number system.
Just so that we're clear.
I'm not. But
Yeah.
let's go on.
In any event.
24 minus 5 is 6.
You get a lot of the same tactical information that we're bleeding our life support into space. There are 2 intruders. However, the missile, in effect, has been launched back toward this, monolith of a hand.
Good.
So you probably, if I were to project, you'd probably say getting life support stable is clearly the number 1 priority.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to do that, you have to go to either the bridge or to engineering, and there might be a hull breach on the bridge, and you don't know their statuses because you've lost connection.
Sorry.
Could I make an argument? I mean, unless there's something else that needs to happen. I'm sorry.
He's gonna make an action, yeah. But
Okay. I was just going to make the argument of I have a mastery in survivalist. Would I have been able to have taken that damage and maintained a level of consciousness to have an action?
on your turn, yeah.
Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
definitely. I already told you there isn't a hull breach, but your
System is unaware.
He doesn't know
Yeah.
that.
He doesn't know
Yeah.
that.
The system isn't aware. It's down on the bridge, which is very alarming.
I see lights flashing. I'm going to try and go to the engineer, the place where I know I have the best
All right,
connection.
I'll let you run down to engineering. So you go to the wake up, terminal, run to engineering. That's your turn. Okay.
What?
I had to open the doors because we sealed the med bay
Arnold.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
While that's all going on, is there something that you'd like to do?
Stab.
It's.
I mean,
Continue to
if I-
charge your neck because we don't know how much we have left of that.
Look, let's just say my next
We
charge.
got him to 82% right now. He's fine for
it
the time
charges
being.
virtually instantaneously.
Yeah, all right,
Okay,
cool.
so we
Works out
can-
for me.
It also drains virtually instantaneously.
It drains.
Just people plugged
It's a
in.
really bad battery.
It's batteries at 100 years an hour.
you know,
very
you,
good.
you know how like a solar panel reacts to the sun. My brace reacts to the plot and like whatever's going on at the moment.
Okay.
I more thought it was like
Whenever we have downtime, Arnold is also having downtime.
I thought it was like the iPhone 10 when the iPhone 11 comes out. All of a sudden, its battery just cannot hold a charge.
Okay, so he's running off to engineering. I'm in there with Saoirse and 13 and Peg, right?
Yep.
Okay.
13.
13 is probably dead.
Excuse me.
13 is
In stasis.
intentionally unconscious and in stasis.
He's got things in his brain.
He's my brother.
Right, but they didn't go all the way through because of
I
her
stopped
medical roll
All
last
right,
time.
fair enough, fair
So
enough.
he is not technically dead.
Salvageable
He's
in the
like
future.
in Princess Bride. Sorry.
Okay, he's
Like,
the Bud Light
mostly
of
dead.
death.
That's great.
Nearly headless.
Yeah, nearly headless.
Like this.
Ugh. That was John Cleese, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's still
All
cool.
right, so I'll be like, hey, I'm alive at least and can move.
Yes.
I'm going to go check out Bridge
Okay.
and see how they're doing.
All right. So I'll let you get up there and be able to make an action because you're not dragging a body this time.
Okay, how are they doing?
Take a med kit with him?
Yeah.
That's not going to be. I mean, assumably, I would probably follow him out. Like, what's?
I won't let you make an action because you had to do it. So I'll say he goes ahead of you and you can come up behind him.
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Is Anjali conscious? She's still flying.
I didn't actually roll for her yet.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Well, it hasn't been
Yeah.
your turn, so it hasn't
DM.
She's way
consequential.
too gangster.
Her head, when you walk in, her head is on the panel, and you can see blood pouring down her face, but her eyes are open.
I'm going to go over there and gently be like, right, my dear, gonna move you over there a little bit. Who can fly?
Does anyone have navigate?
I have.
Do you?
I do.
I have
Thank God.
performance.
He can perform as if he was
baby.
one.
I'm not a pilot, but I played one on TV.
Hold on.
Oh!
Yeah, is that from Galaxy?
Can we do that?
I have navigate.
I have navigate.
Can we
Yeah.
do that?
I have navigate, but it sucks.
I mean, mine sucks too, but I'm still willing to try.
So
Better than
I've
0.
I've spent this entire.
Can you
trip
add any
watching them
talents
fly.
to?
Maybe.
I will let
I
you
can.
perform
I can.
to see whether, as a using your perform as a luck roll, to see whether you happen to have used this in a performance in the past.
Oh my.
I've
Well, luckily he knows the history.
And then I will
I know the
let you
history
roll
of how to
as
fly.
proficient, if you wish.
I
All right. The
love
thing
this.
is,
He has a mastery in this skill.
Again, we're gonna see.
So do I. We
Oh,
both
no.
masters in perform.
Okay.
What do you roll?
I'm 11.
Did you really?
Yeah.
what are you
Okay.
adding to it?
Yeah, but you can.
I
It's a
can
luck
add-
roll. It's a straight luck roll, right?
Yep.
Wow.
But using the performance
Oh.
on
So
your
here's what
extra
I'll say.
luck.
Wow.
You played one on television.
One shy of a perfect.
You were one of the few historians.
so dumb. I love it.
No, it's not on TV.
No.
It's back in Sao Paulo. You decided. I think we can reasonably say that you're an
God.
intellectually curious person.
Yep.
So you decided to go with the other professions.
Can I make a backstory?
Sure, I'm listening.
I made when I was younger, me and my wife used to take flying classes.
You're married?
I was.
Okay.
She's super dead.
Was it because of you?
So
No, it's just I'm
we'll say
old.
that's true. That has to be true. But what also has to be true is you need to know what the buttons do. And in order for that to have been
No,
any
I
chance,
don't.
I will say that you decided to visit the pilots during their training and watch them. And you are not necessarily a good pilot, but you're a very good mimic.
Maybe I
And
was
you learn quickly. So what I will let you do is I will let you roll for navigate as a proficient because you are mimicking
But
what the pilot
can
was
he
doing.
add any talent to that? I can.
I have
That's why I'm
academic
saying.
and perception.
But you're
I'm proficient.
untrained.
I'm proficient.
You're proficient at navigate.
2d6.
So we don't know if
Classy
you're conscious. We don't know if you're.
That's true.
And he went up to her, so he's in control here.
That's fair.
Am I in control?
So I will let you
He's
roll.
performing as if he's in control.
Yes,
for
he
this-
seems super calm.
I will roll.
Wait, hold
I
on.
will let you roll as a proficient
Is there a new
navigate.
captain on board?
Oh,
Could I also
Wait, wait,
ask
I
that if he
spent-
fails, I can then try and take over?
We're about to find out.
Or
Okay.
we all die.
Or we all die.
I'm
You know what? I'm happy.
I'm looking
with that.
for.
We might want to get away from the blast.
All right, get in my seat. Adjust the chair a little bit.
Oh, of course he does. Yeah, he goes shh, shh, shh. Alrighty.
He adjusts the rear view mirror.
Little
And I'm going
little
to use
recline.
what coins do again? I've
You
never
have a
used-
coin?
I've never used a coin.
You didn't use the last
I have
time.
a coin too.
You can't use a coin for other people.
I know, but I've
holy crap! I
considered-
forgot about the coin. Yes, you can use the coin.
What does the coin do? I've
It
never used a
increases
coin.
the spectrum of possible success significantly.
I am all over the spectrum. Wait, what did I just say?
All right, so do the.
Oh.
2 dice.
Do it.
Do it.
A 9.
Did you really?
Yeah, he did. He did that.
I love this show. This is a great show. This is a great show. What a fun show.
Wow.
Plus whatever.
All right, so
We're having fun.
Wherever
You're
Rana
having
is,
fun.
she's so proud.
so proud.
Can we just add like 2 because he's a classy alcoholic?
I'm very drunk doing
Wait,
this.
is that one of your skills?
Yes,
All right,
it
all
is.
right.
It's my talent. It's one of my talents.
Is classy alcoholic?
That's a talent.
What a gangster.
You
All
may
right.
be the worst person I've ever known.
Okay.
Like Chris.
All right. Help me. Okay.
Can there please
Also
be a
food
camera
snob.
rolling on the bridge so we can like?
Yeah, we see this footage later. You're unconscious. How do we land?
needs to see this.
The ship is listing. You activate the panel. You are able to gently move Anjali, who's conscious, and she says, "Don't touch that."
Like the knot.
She collapses
I'm
to the
just
floor.
gonna go over and grab her.
Yeah.
And she's like moaning,
Right.
no, please don't let him touch him.
Arnold sits down. Did you really crack your knuckles?
I adjust the seat.
Adjust the seat.
Recline slightly.
Puts up his own like
Right.
dice on the rearview mirror for some reason. Like, where did
Right.
you pull those out of?
So, Asima, we're gonna say that you're definitely unconscious. Marcus, you have to roll either above to be conscious.
Okay.
I'm
what kind of
seriously
roll?
unconscious?
Yeah. Snake eyes.
Might be dead.
You're not dead, but I'm gonna take 3 more damage off of you for that. You must have had a severe head injury.
Oh, jeez. All right. So,
But
I
you're
had
definitely
9 and I'm-
unconscious.
Now it's 6 out of 15.
Oh,
folks.
I'm at 3.
Okay.
I'm awake.
Right.
How's
But
this
here's
going?
what here's the thing. So you're listing. Life support is still bleeding. Right as you sort of gain access to the panel, and the ship is actually going down toward the atmosphere, there is a massive explosion above the ship. Like massive. If we were to zoom out into space, the ship, which was carrying our weapons delivery, flew up into the cargo bay, and the hand explodes out like this. Like you see this, it's almost like a Mount St. Helens, boom, like rips it apart, and like the thumb area totally rips off into space and starts falling, and then their ship starts like venting and like going off to the side, and then as the thumb, like you're seeing this, so basically you hear the explosion, you're like, and all of a sudden you're looking down onto the planet, you see the thumb, this thumb area go, and it starts to break up in the atmosphere, and you're like, I have an idea.
I
Go
think
ahead.
you and I both have this idea.
Okay.
I'm going to disguise myself as part of the wreckage as
Exactly.
we fall down. Yes!
Exactly. I have an idea.
You Han Solo swine.
So it starts to break up, and you're like, oh boy, this is my
Not
chance.
only am I performing as a pilot, but I'm also performing as a piece of debris.
So the
entire
ship, boom, like
My
ridiculous
kid played tree
explosion.
number 4. Yeah, well, my friend played debris number 87.
Out of 1 billion.
You are basically dodging debris as it's breaking up in the atmosphere,
I
but your
myself
ship
am dying.
looks like it. The Kaizen is intact enough to cut through the atmosphere, and the debris starts like smashing into the surface of the planet. So if you look at the planet, there's going to be like a small scar where basically the thumb rips apart the landscape.
Generation.
It's
You
not-
miss it, but you actually guide the ship. Like you're basically doing this. You see this.
I'm
Nora's like, what? The view screen's on.
Wait, can I narrate
Yeah.
this just because I think it'll be funny? I just like I bash my head against the science like panel, and then I'm just back up, and
my
I'm
head against the
bleeding
science.
a little bit, and I see Arnold run in. I see Saoirse running just behind him. I see them move on to him like, what are you doing?
Driving Miss Daisy.
And then I'm just like, I'm grasping one of the railings, and I look over, and he just starts piloting, and I'm like, no, don't. And I'm also like, no, wait. And then all of a sudden, just like explosion, and then I'm rocked back, and then I look up, and we're just piloting and like down twirling towards Earth, just doing
I mean, with the coin and the 9, I mean, that's beautiful. You're going in between, and then, like I said, it sprays the surface, and you guide, and now you're like flying on the surface. On your panel, you do have Cetos, and he comes over the intercom on the bridge because now you're in Mars, so you regain consciousness, and he's. Is everything okay? Like, I don't even know what he would say. Like, whoa, baby.
I slap the communication. Cetos, we're going down, and we're going down hard. Arnold's piloting.
We're fine.
We're lacking
He might
atmosphere.
be dead. We don't know.
We
All
just
of us
blew
will be
the
dead.
thumb off of the Colossus.
Actually, I'm gonna roll for Cetos for electronics.
Roll well.
Well, I don't know what you did, but you somehow stayed
That
off.
makes 2 of us.
Yeah, you somehow stayed off their radar, so I think you can safely proceed to the chapel. which is where he wants you guys to go.
I
I
have the
will.
intruders on board, FYI. Still.
Oh, we'll kill
in
them
theory.
later.
Yeah, they're locked down because I
Right. So here,
like padlocked
yeah.
the
So
If that room is locked down, let's just open the ceiling and then
they can't.
sucked out into space.
They're probably going to start blowing it up. So what
Yeah.
I would say, as an emergency protocol, we can vent them into space. I didn't really intend for you guys to fight them unless you weren't able to dislodge it, which you were.
Okay.
So unless you want to specifically,
No, I want to get them gone.
Yeah.
I don't
want
want to look
I
at
can
them.
perform an assassination on them.
perform.
You know what? I don't doubt that.
That was a beautiful use of perform, by the way. So what we'll say to get to the safe harbor
Why did that work?
is you stay really low, moving. I want Saoirse, before we get there, to do battlefield emergency triage. I need
Strong, me
2
too.
rolls
Yep.
to encompass about a minute's worth of time to
To
stabilize.
save 6 people, so we're fine. That's okay.
good.
I'm just sleeping.
Definitely not 6 and 4, so that's okay.
So you rolled
10.
10 plus your triage, which is 6?
Nope, I rolled just
4
10.
plus a 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So then your first one is a 10 total.
Yep.
All right, then do your
Total?
next one.
You're almost at hard.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So
Take the 6 and the, what was it, 6 and 5?
6 and 5.
Yeah, that's what Anjali rolled a 12 for that critical
11,
navigate
6,
where you just got.
So 17 for the next one.
Okay. So
First one you
again, when
panicking.
you enter the bridge, the first thing that you see beyond Arnold in the pilot seat, it obviously actually no, because you go in with them, you hold Anjali.
Right.
So I have to unfortunately make your first roll Anjali because she seems the most critical.
Okay.
I mean, the honest truth is that she's probably not going to make it.
Oh my
What?
God.
Stasis thing.
I was gonna say, can I collar her? And just, I mean, it's not. She's going to be
Stasis. Eh?
in stasis, and I can't
So
save her.
remember
but-
how basically here's my thinking, just to be super fair and transparent. Going into this, she's at half health
Okay.
because of what happened before. She rolled slightly worse than Nora, who took 3, which means she took 4 damage. And if she had 5 or 6, she's at 2, and she's actively losing health. Your roll isn't good enough to stabilize, so she's at least at 1. NPCs don't typically get the death sort of save.
Yeah.
So she's at 1 or 0. I mean,
Stasis.
I'll roll. I mean,
Well, why
stasis
is-
would only help if she goes to 0 this game.
Here's the thing. Why not roll to see if I am holding on to one of those collars? Because it's literally just going to save her life. It's
Right.
just going to keep her alive in a coma.
I totally agree. Here's my thinking. Stasis only helps you if you have 1 or more health. If
Okay.
she went to 0 in your arms, it's game.
Got it.
So
Luck roll?
I agree. And I don't mean to be flippant. I think it should be a luck roll because she should be at 0 or 1.
Right, and
According to the
Very
map.
Luck.
flippant.
What
No,
about
this
plus
is-
2 for a justification to turn that 10 to a 12?
It wouldn't change it. I'm sorry.
This is generous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
If
trying
you really
to...
wanted to make sure you do a coin flip.
Oh.
Is it a 12?
I don't
No.
see those
A
numbers.
3? Ah!
You
Anjali,
should have let
no!
her roll for the luck, man. Damn.
No, I had to roll for her.
Right, it's Anjali's luck, not mine.
She's looking up at you, and she smiles and says, do it for Earth, and she passes away. And you,
Ugh. This
you know,
kid's gonna go crazy by the end of this show. I need you all to know it.
I pass you the flask.
She's 15!
I feel like it's
We're all gonna die.
Hey,
Jared, if she can go into space for her planet and defend her planet,
And cure
she
cancer.
can drink
And
at
cure
15
cancer.
and
So,
cure cancer.
but you know that there's other people there that
Also need help.
also need help.
I think this could have been
Asima
a
is very seriously injured, and you have to stasis her.
And the thing is, I did roll the 17 for you.
But you did it for the other parts. So you don't have to stasis Marcus, but
I'm
Marcus
sleeping.
is going to require legs in order to actually
lost
get
it?
him back
Oh,
to
okay.
normal.
He's going to need
And
new
maybe
legs.
even 13's knowledge of anatomy. So we have that. So Asima is going to go to the med bay and stasis. You have Marcus. Nora she just needs to be patched up, so you can send her to the med bay when.
I'm literally bottom of the list.
Get the
of triage
holograms
next to Arma.
working.
So
So
I'm
that's what we're
gonna
going to say
start working
happens.
on
So as the
over-
ship is going, unfortunately, Anjali is going to pass away, which sucks, but it is what it is.
I feel like Ian loved Anjali a lot.
I know.
She was a wonderful character. She's a total boss.
And she didn't even really get to play.
She's
I
really
really
good.
don't feel like her presence was utilized
Look,
enough.
so
and
far,
I feel bad. I
guys,
missed her.
She's first at everything.
Her whole life, she probably was. I mean, she's probably one of those people who, like, her entire life, has the weight of supreme expectations and still finds a way to achieve higher than those expectations and be able to, like, hold herself up.
That
and
luck roll wasn't good enough, though.
She didn't need luck or
was-
believe in luck.
it was fair. I mean,
Probably not for the best though.
I mean, eventually, just her luck ran out.
that's just part of being alive. It's part of being human. Or
And hey, we
Whatever
have
you are.
we
My
got a
character
signal.
strongly
You are.
disagrees with
We
my
got a
assessment.
signal from our other crewmates. So we
Well, their suits are
their
on.
suits, yes.
They're
So,
probably dead.
the Kaizen, sort of rockets over the sands and arrives and lands near a solitary, non-denominational chapel
Thank God I know how to land.
in the middle of the desert, surrounded by some short hills on either side.
Do I land or do I kind of?
With a 9 and a coin, I'm not going to hold it against
Okay,
you at this
thank
point.
You land and then you're just like, no, it's not a good one, and take back off.
Yeah.
I can do
Oh,
this.
no, I get it.
Like I'm just
Okay.
trying to parallel park this spaceship.
And
We land, our ship's just smoking and
a
battered.
number of CTOS's sort of androids come out to greet you. What we'll say to get you inside to start the safe harbor. We're going to get you in. We'll empower more med rolls to get everyone back to normal.
Recover all lost health.
And then, yeah.
You got a tarp over the spaceship. So they
We're
can't
going to
see
say
it
that
from
CTOS
space.
doesn't visually. We can activate the stealth system while it's landed, but I
Okay.
think it's more that he keeps it off their grid, and we'll have CTOS take care of that. But basically, what you guys find is that this is a literal, like a hermit's chapel, almost like how the ancient Christians built in the desert. It's non-denominational, but it is there's pews and an altar, but there's a hidden entrance beneath the floor, and there is CTOS's lab in the desert beneath, where his sort of mainframe is kept, and it's his literal safe harbor.
Does he know someone named Cetos Kenobi?
Well,
Of course I know him.
Yeah. Well played. So that will be the start of the safe harbor, and we're back. Hell yes. So as I said, we have now arrived at the safe harbor, calling it the Chapel in the Desert. What we're going to play right now is going to take place over the course of the next 48 hours. So what we're going to do is going to be a little more organized than last time. We're going to do skills/talents first, then we're going to do items, and we're going to role play what we do during the safe harbor.
Can we heal first?
So what I'm going to say for free, per the rules, you get to go back to full health and you get your coin back at a safe harbor.
Yay.
We can, as a part of that role playing, we're going to say that Saoirse is working round the clock. So that first of, she's basically working for the next 24 hours to make sure that you guys are good. She's not sleeping really well, so we're going to have you suffer mentally for that. It's going to be quite a burden on you. And if
That's
you have
fair.
something to add to that, please do.
Yeah, so I would say the first thing that I would do, especially since our safe harbor is a chapel, that I would request that everyone attend a service for Anjali.
Okay.
Saoirse's Catholic because she was raised in Ireland, so she could run unless anybody else particularly has any background.
Arnold
She is
actually
a
has skill.
mastered in perform as well, so.
I would say that if she died in your arms, she may I don't know.
That was my thought process as well.
Yeah, you can definitely conduct a service for her.
Cool. So yeah, I would say that before we do anything else, like I understand everyone's probably not doing great, but if everybody could at least
It doesn't have to be this
be
as
in
the
the
first thing. Like you're
Right.
not like if she's bleeding out, you're not gonna do that. But I'll
Right.
I'll say
As long as I'm conscious, I'll be there.
yeah. At some point, we don't have to say when this
Even
happens,
if you're
but at some point
unconscious, you'll be
there is
there. It's a
service,
one-room building.
and you do conduct it in the chapel. I'll let you decide what you want to do with the body, depending on what you feel her rights. As a matter of fact, I think everybody is when they go on the mission, is supposed to say what you want done with the body. I guess I don't necessarily have that picked for Asima. I would think that she'd probably want her body
Anjali.
returned to Earth.
Not as
Or Anjali, excuse me.
Definitely.
Sorry, you're dead now. Sorry.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Cremation it is.
Saoirse
Stop complaining.
failed every one of her checks.
Sorry.
It's like when you have
I
little
think
miniatures
Anjali
and they
would want
fall
her-
on the
her body
table. It's, oh, he's dead
returned
now.
to her.
Oh, that's it.
So
Oh,
you wouldn't
okay.
say. I would think that she'd probably want to be buried in her homeland.
Okay, so then I probably will place her in like a
Yep.
like a bag that I would have.
Right. There is unfortunately on the ship a morgue, so you can.
That works.
But you can obviously have a service.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would. She probably would be not in a great standing to be super eloquent, but I think she would probably invite Cetas as well and ask that first everybody take a moment to recognize the sacrifice that she has made specifically for Earth, but also for us. And without her in that moment, we certainly would have all died. So we can respect her life in that way, that not only was she doing what all of us are doing and sacrificing ourselves for where we're from, but specifically for this team and for our mission in general. I also, out of respect for Rana and Tane, would say that Pig is probably going to be doing a recording so that they can have their own time to grieve, as we are assuming they are alive and fine. And right, unrelated to anybody's religious backgrounds or belief system, I would say that no matter what you believe, what we're doing here and what our mission is somewhat of a mission for God or the general good of the universe, because at the end of the day what we're trying to do is unify multiple planets, which has never been done before. And if you believe in a higher power, both of these planets would be connected to that, and both are equally important. And every life that is lost, whether it's someone on our team or someone from Mars, it is a tremendous loss to this group. And I think that we need to respect that wholeheartedly and feel the same grief that we feel right now for every single person who loses their life. So this is also a representation of everybody who died in the tower.
Fair enough. I think that is fair and certainly more eloquent than you gave yourself credit for. So I won't say that happens immediately because obviously there's life-saving procedures, but what I'll say is that definitely takes place sometime within the first 48 hours, and I will not have that occupy your encounter part of this. We'll give that to you guys for free as something you do the time, but I will say for the first 24 hours, you're pretty much in triage, and even if you could rest, your mind probably wouldn't let you.
For sure it's not.
So let's do skills and talents first, so that we can get that out of the way. So again, the rule is you can either take one of those, go up by 2, or move a skill and a talent up by 1 rank.
All right, so starting with I now am proficient in combat as opposed to not having it as a skill
There you
at
go.
all.
There you go.
And then I went from expert to master in diplomatic.
Your talent.
A
Nice.
talent.
Okay. A master diplomat that has bitten somebody. I love it.
I took my, persuade skill from expert to master?
Yep.
And then I took my Mars neural link talent from expert to master.
How wise.
Very wise. I went from proficient in navigate to master in navigate.
Nice.
Also wise.
Yep. I went from expert in electronics to master and leveled up endurance from proficient to expert.
Understood.
My knife talent was proficient, but now it is master.
Goodness, man.
And I leveled up healing from proficient to mastery.
Okay. Next, we're going to do items.
Ooh.
So we are in Cetas's home base. What you were experiencing in Mars Prime was almost like his bar, where he could conduct covert operations in Mars Prime. But this is actually his home base underneath this chapel in the desert in Utopia Planitia on Mars. So it has access to all of his things. So This is the best access you will receive from CTOS directly. This choice of items, carries some weight. So
This is the last one we'll choose?
I haven't decided.
Ever.
Potentially.
There has to be a good story-driven reason to have a safe harbor, right? Safe harbors don't just get made out of thin air. They have to exist in the story.
And there has
so
to be a
depending
church.
on what choices you make and where you go, I don't know. Maybe. So what items are you going to either work with CTOS yourselves? You can collaborate with yourselves, with CTOS, if you have a choice.
I would like to build a second pig. I have
Big 2.0.
device building. I'm going to ask for Legs' help. It will be a compact version with just like a little less of the like RAM, essentially, lack of a better word. But
it's a pig.
it's a piglet.
But it's not.
Wait,
how
how big is regular pig?
So regular pig is like this big.
So a
Okay.
football
Like a
size.
watermelon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a watermelon size. Yeah, that's
Okay.
about right. And then piglet will be more like the size of a phone.
Wait, hold on. You want a piglet, but not a ram.
Yes.
Sorry.
What's the
bad pun.
use of
Yeah,
piglet?
to what end?
So, well, one, I am very
Creative.
concerned about pig. So, and I am concerned about the necessary actions that he constantly acts on. So, I'm very concerned that if we lose one,
Are you going to connect them or keep them separate?
yeah. So I would use piglet as sort of like a
B4?
backup.
I was gonna do that, and I told you about it.
I know it's not the only thing. Relax.
I know.
An external hard drive. But also, I want Piglet to be able to do things that we shouldn't be using Pig for anymore.
Okay.
So like this, like subterfuge and things like that. Like I'm not going to be sending the entire neural network to go like do something, an event or something like that I originally was going to use Pig for.
All right, I'll give you a chance. So I want you both to roll craft then, and you can add device building. I don't know what talents you have.
I have craft and creator.
You would add that. Those
Okay.
things.
D20 or because she's rolling a D6?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Same thing. I will just change each of your spectrums.
Ooh, nice.
I knew I should have made a talent god.
17, a 3, and a 9. That's 17 and 6 for 23.
Okay. Whoops.
Is it -6?
14.
Plus 6 for him.
No, -6 for the 2020.
For changing the D20 system, yeah. So the 23.
Is it? Are we just gonna go with like -6?
I forget
-5?
what it is, but it's really close. It's between.
So you
5
still,
and
he still got
7.
impossible, then, right? So did really well.
Yeah,
Basically.
He got the equivalent of like a 16 or a 17.
Nice.
Which is really high.
If it's like a -6, then I don't even need to like.
It's
add
not
on.
that. There's a range.
Okay.
It's in the rules. Don't like. It's all good.
I was just
I have
curious.
I have what range he hit, which is much more important.
14.
Yeah. So CTOS has like a polymath's paradise of a lab, right? And just to be clear, you've never seen CTOS's body. He just happens to inhabit many bodies, similar to how the wolf has conducted himself. And you spend some time, probably about 6 to 8 hours in the second day, forging Piglet. You are able to connect them, and even with the hard drive, you do find that the neural network's state of constant evolution is making a direct transfer very difficult. So I would say that you gain aspects of the network, but not the network in totality. But Piglet definitely exists, so you definitely now have Piglet.
Great. And I would like Piglet to be more of like a medical device as well. Than
Right,
Pig
so
is.
yeah,
That's what
yes.
Pig was
It
supposed
had-
to do before
Right.
he became the team.